What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I am at my standing desk because I'm trying to rotate up and down with my feet, my legs. But part of why I'm doing today's show, I'm calling it Yuppies, Geeks, and Gekkos. If you notice, we're in this weird space of 1980s meets 20s, the stock market crash of the 20s. We're in a little time sport here. And I'm getting a lot of emails from people who are like, oh my God, they're like panicking and freaking out. And here's the thing. I come on this channel to be a thought leader. What is a thought leader? A thought leader is someone who is making I just started. This just live just went on right now. The thought leader is someone who stands up on the chair and goes, okay, and makes a decision, right? It's simple as that. Simple as that, right? And helps others make a decision. And what I want to always promote here on this channel is just because something looks good don't mean it is good. Just because something looks good don't mean it's good for you. Now, I don't know if y'all from the South, but that's very popular sayings in the South. I've been consistently saying, if you look at the numbers, people who are getting sick, Chicago, St. Louis, Louisiana, you're talking about people who have heart conditions, overweight, blood pressure problems, all kind of issues, ain't eating right. And let's even put it on the flip side. They're showing pictures of people who are healthy and young. Again, when you dig behind the curtain, what is healthy and young? They're showing you photos of people who have muscles. You can be lifting weights every daggone day of your life and be sick or fall over of a heart attack the next day. Okay? If you go actually look at many of the fitness YouTube channels, there's a lot of people doing drugs. There's a lot of people using steroids, using enhancers. There's a lot of people eating really bad diets. You've even had Nick Bare, one of the biggest YouTubers, say when he was a kid, he had an eating disorder. So we have this thing in our mindset that, well, it looked good, it must be good. That is not appropriate. Period. You ever heard of the thing skinny fat? You ever heard somebody whose grandpa's a bean pole and they fall over a heart attack at 50 something because they've been eating nothing but collard green sandwiches and fried fish every week? A lot of people will sit here and try to, exactly, young don't mean healthy. Young does not mean healthy. And I know people want to fight me tooth and nail on this, but the data just doesn't support it. Just doesn't. All those people literally go to that website I named. I'm not going to say it again, but I want many of us to pay attention to the signs. Right now, you have people becoming yuppies, geeks, or geckos. What are geeks? Geeks used to be a very looked down term, a nerdy person, an awkward person sometimes. And if you've noticed, this has been like revenge of the nerds the last 15 years in our economy. From businesses to billionaires to tech companies, it's literally been like revenge of the nerd. And the people who are very technical have been winning, even here on YouTube. People who, the dude who calls Jerry Rig everything, Jerry's not even his name, but his channel is called Jerry Rig everything, right? And he just takes apart phones and all kind of things that you go, man, that's neat. But wow, right? So again, oh yeah, I mean, I'll even say, the technical aspect, if you have a niche per se, if you're a smart guy, there's space for you to win. And so this narrative that nerds never win, geeks never win is kind of hilarious, because they've been winning the past 20 years here with a technology driven society. Do you know what I mean? Even when you go as far as the geckos, Aaron Clary makes jokes about people with frat boy business degrees and economics degrees. But those guys been winning for 20 plus years in hedge funds. Even now, they're saying don't give the hedge funds bailouts. But guess what? That's probably going to happen. So the hedge fund guys, the financial guys, they're all been winning. Okay? Now, yuppies is a term that is lingering on and is lingering now. You may hear Kevin Samuels call it the Henry. You may hear Google articles where it's called Henry. What is Henry? Henry is the millennial, and it's like 1 in 4 millennials, which that's the age range now, 1 in 4 millennials have like $100,000 in savings. Now, immediately you're going, no, every millennial is broken, staying at home with their parents and losing their money. And again, the data doesn't support that. There's a whole generation of, instead of calling them yuppies, we call them the Henry. You can Google lots of articles talking about the Henry. There's even a hedge fund guy right now who's selling a class on making a hedge fund, like giving the secret sauce away. He's a son of a 1980s hedge fund. So for him, hedge funds is like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's nothing even new. And again, that goes back to the conversation of proximity. That goes back to the conversation of just because something looks good doesn't mean it is good. That goes back to the conversation of why I'm teaching the class I'm teaching. I put together that YouTube course is because you can come out in this space and reach who you want to reach and speak to who you want to speak to. And if you have an email list, you have a business. There are people who come on YouTube for ratings. They come on here to talk crazy, act a fool. They want ratings. It's the same thing right now on Instagram. I'll see people spend hours and days on Instagram because everybody's watching. Yeah, people watching me. Instead of really putting in the energy to build an actual business on YouTube where they'll have long form SEO, be able to sell workbooks, classes, coaching, consulting, they want to be seen on Instagram. It's a superficial thing. Now people say, well, that's my platform. That's where I get a lot of traction from. I'm sorry, it's not long-term. The searchabilities that are there long-term, a lot of things aren't there long-term. And so when people try to tell me that, Instagram's their thing, I kind of giggle. Yep, Henry, high net worth, high earner, not rich yet. Could call it that too. But basically, what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is I'm trying to show you the long format towards wealth and long format towards business ownership and building something that lasts. And you live in a world and a society that it look good. It's on the internet. I'm on Instagram. And that doesn't last. It doesn't last. That's just period, point blank. Another part of that is the ultimate rise of the 20%. You guys freaking crashed the server almost. You guys, there's literally 300 people who signed up for the class so quickly that my VA is not able to get everybody in to the Facebook group in a timely manner. So I'm excited because it's going to be like a credit mastermind. We're talking about businesses you can grow in the economy. We're talking about people taking advantage of the marketplace right now. It's going to be lit and big lick up in there. And I'm super excited about it because one, the price goes up at 8 o'clock to $2,000 and the ads start rolling. But for now, you guys that are in there, you're going to love it. And for those of you who missed out, you just missed out, right? Because I don't have time to come out here on YouTube and fight, and try to tell you that there's people winning. It's almost like you have people who are standing in this corner going, we're not winning. We're losers. We're not winning. And why would I fight with someone who has determined that is their position in life? Do you know what I'm saying? If someone's determined that is their position in life, that they're not a winner, that's an internal issue. I can't fix your internal issue. If you want to go every day looking for how you don't qualify, that's an internal self-esteem issue. If you every day focus on women or men that you cannot get, that is a self-esteem issue. If you are saying the sky is falling every day, guess what you'll do? You'll go look for things that say the sky is falling every day. Now, prime example, I turned on Facebook and this girl was laughing and she posted, I was gonna make it a thumbnail, but I changed my mind. Everybody's showing people out in these bread lines and they're starving in brand new cars and brand new Apple phones and bread lines. Okay. But the truth of it is that they just had the Turkey Leg Hut building decided they were going to do a pop-up in Houston in a parking lot. And there's people lining all along the parking lot. Hours wait for Turkey Leg Hut in Houston, Texas. Don't believe me. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up. Turkey Leg in Houston. Aaron Balding, he said, I live in Canada. Will this be beneficial to me? Yes. Wynn has never have been talking about credit, being in a mastermind, having social media marketing, having online websites, having e-commerce. When has any of those things not worked for people? Right? I'm in several other groups where people from other countries love our American system because it's a great place to invest, a great place to be. But I can't do one by one convince you to join. No need. I'm going to ask the people in the group who are participants of the first live video training to do some testimonials. That's all I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna just let y'all see those and go on about my day, because everybody can't come. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a saying, everybody can't come, and I understand it now more as an adult. Everybody can't come because some won't come, some don't want to come, some can't find a mission or a purpose, right? And part of why I named this title Yuppies and Geeks and Gekkos is because this is what you're seeing right now. You're seeing an economy where people who are in the stock market is doing its own thing separate from the mainstream economy, right? Then you have geeks who are still winning technically right now. There are so many people starting little different websites to respond, right? Respond to what's going on in the economy several ways, and I'll save that for class. But even then, on top of that, you have people who are in the yuppie category, who are living well, who are buying food from these farmers on Instagram, who are buying supplies, who have things going. Every single truck I have is rolling or able to roll. How about that? So trucks are very busy. But if you're in the comments right now, definitely put a 1 in the comments if you're working from home. I just want to see. Put a 1 in the comments for me right now if you're working from home. It is a Freedom Friday. I just want to double check how many people are working from home. Okay, we got a lot of people. Good. Why am I asking that? For the past 10 years, Cosmo was sewing masks. There you go, sewing masks. Listen, I'm asking it because I'm just taking a temperature check. You know, if you're someone who is in, wow, how do you sing vacay leave? Okay, almost 1, 2 jobs. Maryland oil and gas. Whew, analyst. Okay, Foxy girl, you got all the money. I used to live with an analyst of a hedge fund. She was rolling. Part of why I'm doing these classes and part of doing this training is because there's a combination of wanting to have positive, forward-thinking conversation. We could sit down here on the ground and cry all day about how the world is changing, or we can go with it, or we can be forward, or we can move ahead in life. And for some reason, I have a feeling that we're going to struggle to get some people on that same path. That doesn't make it too dark, does it? No, it doesn't. It's fine. Now, hope that didn't make it too dark. Appreciate you. Thanks for Tuesday class. What time is class, tonight or tomorrow? Classes are, listen, again, when it comes to classes, we're going to try to keep them on Tuesday, Thursdays, or Tuesday, Saturdays. Reason being is so many people that I want to bring on into the trainings that are in credit, that are in e-commerce, that are in real estate, that are in different things. They're busy people. They're running businesses. They're living life. And so we're trying to be very flexible with our time to be flexible with their time. And I want you guys to understand that like iron sharpens iron. And that's part of why I'm doing it. The people that are yuppies, the people that are Greeks and geckos, they are circling the wagon amongst themselves. Now, somebody said today, oh, you know, Argentina fell again. Isn't that terrible? And I said, well, yeah, this is the 9th time it fell. So their country knows how to adjust to this problem now at this point. They know how to save up silver and gold and have little gardens and do a lot of other stuff. They're not worried, right? This has happened to them before 8 other times. When you talk to Americans, you start talking to people and realizing they've never had a bad time. Now, if you go look at the data for birth records in 1980 is the lowest birth record for a while in the United States. Why? We were in a recession. And people were what? Conservative, like, hey, better not have no kids. So 1980, you will not have as many people born in 1980 as you do in 1978. 1979 or 1981. It's very interesting. And so when I talk to people about numbers and data and why it matters. There's some great books out there that I've just read. It's The Upside. It's, the Decline of White America book. It was the Angry White Men book. It was also several books talking about stock market and real estate and like one house at a time. And what it made me realize is a lot of people are freaking out in bigger pockets about their housing and their tenants is because they use the BRRRR strategy. The BRRRR strategy is where you buy, rehab, refinance, and rent, right? And that works well when the economy is going up, when appreciation is going up, and it kind of gets a little sideways when appreciation goes down, when tenants aren't paying. And what you're realizing is old school principles still win. People who are buying cheap properties, people who are buying cheap land, people who are buying equipment for cheap and putting it to work and making it make money for them are winning, and they're going to keep winning. I think part of what's the problem here is people are finally waking up. Now, I think you guys saw me when I put that triangle on the board and I had like Jon Snow knows nothing at the bottom. And then the 50K people, they kind of knew a little bit, but they didn't care. And they had this part where they were angry. Pretty much everybody that's angry and up is like, whoa, wait a minute. Let me figure out how to do A, B, C, and D. Let me figure out how to turn. You guys, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I shared some testimonials where people who had bought Kamoy's class, they just stumbled on some of the videos the other day, bought her class, and are already getting offered job offers in Raleigh and Florida. Now, where can they share that positive information? Are they going to share it with family and friends and on Facebook and all this place? No, because family and friends are going to say, well, you sure is lucky. Boy, you're lucky for that. When luck had nothing to do with it. Making a decision to step up your skills and be a part of the next part of your life is what had to do with it. I had a lot of comments on some of my videos where people were like, well, it sounds like you're only talking about tech or trades or trucking. Here's the deal. Towns that have less than 20,000 people are still going and moving and doing whatever. They got little coffee shops open. They've got food. They got restaurants open. Would I place my future as a restaurant worker at the moment? No. Would I put all my chips in on being a blue collar worker? Yeah. Still can fix things, can still get paid. Would I put all my chips in on technical and trading and the stock market? Yeah, the stock market will still be here. It'll just be different. It won't be as juicy or as exciting as people try to make it be. Because you actually have to know something. You can't just listen, everybody's a hustler when times are good. Everybody's a winner when times are good. Who's the real traders and stock market day traders when times are bad? Again, there's a reason I recommend Terry's course on this channel, because I didn't want people going out there and go, well, I bought this person's channel and they taught me how to trade penny stocks. And I'm like, ugh. I bring Terry on because Terry is a technical trader who's making money when times are good and times are bad. And that's the difference. Someone who's doing it day in and day out, who's doing it year after year for 10 years. These are the people I'm going to bring on the channel and talk to you. These are the type of people I'm going to bring into the courses and talk to you, because those people are still moving and shaking. Those people are still doing big things and will continue to do big things. So I always try to stay on the positive side, which I know bothers people greatly. Now, I'm a little bit of a grumpy cat sometimes. And compared to me, my mother is super positive, super happy, super smiling. Even when she was overseas in Iraq, this guy was like, why are you smiling? She's like, because it's early in the morning, right? You have a moment where you realize some people are looking for a reason to be negative. They're looking for a reason to whine and moan. The change that needs to happen with some people needs to start within, and they just won't agree to it. Does that make sense? Like, we were on a Facebook post earlier and we kept talking about this woman says she knows somebody who keeps getting married. And I said, yeah, I know a guy who's been married 3 times since high school. And we're barely out of high school. And it's not the people you're marrying, it's you. Stephanie, if you log into the course, it's in lesson 1. Anybody who missed the first session, you log into the course and it's in there. Live training week 1. You're good. Anybody who's not in the Facebook group yet, don't worry. Don't worry. Our assistant is working through it. Again, you guys have to realize I'm in a position here where I do these videos because I find them fun and informational. But I'm hiring like 8 people on staff at the same time. So there's a YouTube person and a class person and this person and a VA over here and the person over there. And as I'm growing, I just want to convey to you that I do this because one, I enjoy it, and two, have patience. Right? Part of what I'm going to be teaching in the YouTube course and in my other, the Ultimate Rise of 20% course, is patience and consistency. Because the problem a lot of people have is they like, give it to me now, give it to me now. And nothing in life works out that. Nothing, right? Part of what I'm seeing too is a lot of people are like, well, I'm just going to go make an online business. And they're just splattering things up on Facebook and splattering things all over YouTube and doing live. Hey, I'm doing live, with no order to what they're doing and no step, no blueprint to follow. Very chaotic. And what's that going to end up doing is not very much for you. There's several people I've talked to and tried to educate on like, hey, you should do it this way. But what I realize is when the student is ready, then the teacher appears, right? If I'm trying to give you $3,000 content and you're at $200 content right now, what I'm saying to you right now may not satisfy what you're trying to hear until you get later down the road or until you bump your head. Because what I realized is as I was starting here in YouTube, as I was started to bump my head, I knew I needed more training. I knew I needed to get out of my own way. I was the roadblock to my own business. And when you start talking to people and educating them, you know, even in the class, I've let them know, I'm like, listen, I'm going to name off a lot of books, but it doesn't mean you need to buy every single book, but it would be helpful because all it's going to do is help you prepare. Yeah, it's all about perspective and preparation. The problem is people don't want to hear that, right? People are like, the house is on fire right now. Erica, what should I do? Boo-boo, the house is on fire. You know, honestly, put the house out. You know, get some water. Pour the fire out. But for those of you who are not on fire up to your neck, this is a great time for you to put some thought process into what you're doing. Number one thing that like burns my bubbles is research. I will go into certain classes or I'll even go into Instagram, Facebook. Do you think this is good for me? What do you think about these numbers? Honey, research for yourself first. Bring a better question to ask someone before you did that, right? And so another part of that is not doing research, but within. What is research within? Research within would be you guys writing what you're good at, writing what you're interested in, what you could talk about for a long time. You know, have you exhausted everything in your sphere? Someone was saying, well, you're just talking about Austin, Texas. You're not talking about all these other places. And I said, listen, where are you from? The person said, Dallas. I said, I could sit down with a piece of paper and probably write out 100 places, 100 businesses, 100 people in Dallas I'd want to get to know and see. So a lot of times what you have to understand is they're not even doing the research for themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not even exhausting everything that's around them. So when they come to you, their question is not, it's like a lump of clay. It's not polished, you know? So again, it requires me to have patience, which requires you to have patience in anything I do, anything we participate in. Same thing when it comes to business. I think a lot of people think businesses are like ATMs. You can just get money out of them every day. Every day it ought to just shoot me money, right? And that's not how it works, right? There's a t-shirt I'm always wearing called cash flow, and that's something people have to learn, right? There's a balance to all of this. And we live in a culture that's almost superficial and very much like microwave, give it to me now, right? Skywasher, yes. Yes. So all tips and updates, if you're in the Facebook group, will be there for the class. All other tips will be in the email. So good afternoon. Welcome in here if you're just getting in here. But I definitely want you guys to understand that when you apply yourself, you will see those categories really matter. Yuppies, geeks, and geckos. The reason I keep bringing them up is it's the same people playing out from the 1980s now. There's a statistic where people go, yeah, African Americans, gangs, single momhood, terrible 80s. But if you actually go look back at the data in the 1970s and 1980s, you had a high number of African American graduate school and doctorate program acceptees, right? You had a high number of grad students that were African American, but you get overshadowed by the negative, right? Our assistant's working on it. We get overshadowed by the negative because that's what sells, right? And even as I grow my business now and I put people on staff and I'm like, let's go. See, you're trying to force a fire hose of information and process and speed on something that should have just a, like a little sprinkle, like a little bit of trickle. And that's just a problem in our society. A lot of these people have been prepared by parents in the 1980s. I think 90% or 87% of all military kids that are in the military now are like second generation military because people groom themselves and shadow after what their parents do. And you have to almost like pick the truck up and turn it left to do something different. So with me, I know I have to be more patient with everyone because everybody doesn't see what I'm seeing, right? Everybody's freaking out like, oh my God, it's the Megatron's gonna destroy whole cities and states. And now you start to see more people leaving the hospital. You start to see people realize they need to drink water. They need to have veggies. They need to take vitamins. There's opportunities even in that, right? And people will come on here and say, oh, you're such a capitalist, Erica. Yeah, damn, Skippy. I am. And this is what this channel is about. And that's, if you feel conflicted or you don't want to hear those type of views, you should leave and go somewhere else. This is part of why I don't waste a lot of my time trying to convince people to be winners. They are showing you in everything they say that they don't want to be a winner. You dig? So when I do these channels, I always keep that in mind, right? Some people will literally post every day, oh my God, do you see this person out here? Look at these bread lines. And I go, look at the cars they're in. Look at the cell phones in their hands as they wait for all this. These people are not about to starve. You're right. Some of these people are taking advantage of the fact that they can go get some free food. Right? Oh yeah. I mean, chaos is a ladder, not a pit, right? Game of Thrones. It just is. And there are people already deciding to be winners in this. And I get it. You want to soak up and revel in the negative conversation. I get that. But I'm not doing that here. That's just not what it is. We could point out a million different facts where people are struggling, or you can turn around and look and see a lot of these yuppies, what we would call yuppies, are still living life, still running businesses, still running internet ads, and it's going on about their day. So vitamin A in the supermarket is finally being rated. It took a few weeks. Organic section not being rated. Well, here's the thing about the organic section. Again, if you watch a lot of information, if you go read, like our prime example, we had a neighbor who said, oh, our farm's organic. Beside our farm is somebody's farm who's not organic, and the airfield gets sprayed. You think that just stays in their little part of the acreage? I mean, that's what part of that cracks me up when people say they're getting something organic. And I go, unless you're buying it straight from the farmer and you know the location, not likely. The limits we put on what can be labeled organic are outrageous. I promise you. Yeah, you can complain or you can do something else. The curve is flattening. I know people are wanting so bad for it to be this bloodbath of America. And I get it. We're winning all the time. Everybody's tired of us winning. But again, I told you, when I look at my data points, I look at immigrants. I don't look at other Americans. And I just realized people have no savings. If money don't come on Friday, oh my God. Like, I was in a group earlier and the guy was saying his trucking company he's with dispatched him on a weekend, and he wanted to be home on the weekend. And they are breaking a promise to him, and he might quit. And everybody in the group was like, why would you quit your job? Because then you got to go look for another job. because they dispatched you for a weekend. See, to me, you're creating a problem there. There is no problem, right? You can call them and ask for detention pay. You can call them and ask for pay over the weekend. But this person's first immediate answer is like, I'm a quit. Okay, and then you're going to go home and then you're going to call another company to start more work. What's the point of that? So I just, hopefully I'm getting through to some folks about how better life can be if they so choose. Because it could be a lot better. Let's see here. Anyway, what are some of you guys talking about? Oh yeah, low-key fraudulent all the time. Again, sounds like he doesn't like money. I don't know what his deal was, but when I asked him some questions, I said, hey, are you driving flatbed or are you driving? It doesn't matter. It's the principle. See, you got a lot of people who are broke on principle. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Broke on principle. You ever heard of that? Where their pride is so tall, and some people call it people that people are broke. How you broke and you so proud, right? It's a combination. People really, I won't do this or I won't do that. You're not in the condition to talk about what you're not going to do. You don't have any money. Plain and simple. So instead of me coming on here talking about the stimulus package and talking about, broke on principle. They are broke on principle. Like, oh, I ain't working for this man or I ain't working for that man. And it's like, but you broke, right? Like there's a meme where the guy and the girl are laying in bed and it's like how your girlfriend looks at you when you won't join the army. And he said, cause you scared. And he's like, I'm scared. I mean, there's just some things, crack me up. His principal don't keep his pockets empty. I mean, he was so, and again, it's the same thing right now on Facebook where if I mention something, people are like, but people are losing their jobs. And I'm like, why are you screaming on Facebook? You need to get off here. The yelling and screaming and marching in the street is the position of the poor. It's not the position of the wealthy. It's not the position of people with money. It's the position of the poor. And there's nothing. I mean, just like nothing you can do from that position other than improve your position. How do you help your family in these times? Figure out how to make more money. Figure out what you're good at. Actually do introspection. So I didn't want to make this long. It's a Freedom Friday. You guys, again, you can decide to be winners or you can decide to sit out here and waste your time. Oh yeah, I mean, Mind Shift Elite, there's a book called Rage Inc., like Rage Inc., where basically it's talking about the media and making people get upset. Oh, they're getting upset. They're manufacturing people's outrage, right? Talk radio's done a great job on some of this. I don't drink organic milk. I don't drink regular milk. I drink almond milk and oat milk. I'm not saying it's fraudulent. I just come from a farm family, and I can tell you some of the actual requirements for people to be organic are they're thin, hun. Earth to survival, people crying and carry on, learning to sew. I've made 200 masks and counting. Congratulations. I mean, right now my friend has a tactical company, and like the tactical gear has gone off the wall. Like he ain't even got it. Oh, I mean, they real desperate, Chris McDonald, but we ain't gonna go there. You're a Belizean winner. Congratulations. Hey, Belize is a nice place. But again, I just wanted to let y'all know the class closes out for the low price at 8 p.m. tonight, Eastern Standard Time. No, CST time. So again, for those of you who already got in the course, I think we're 250 people still trying to process and put you inside the Facebook group. Facebook group is amazing, but the live trainings are really where it's going to be at because we're just bringing on hitters. I mean, really serious. We're bringing on hitters. And for those of you who are already in the class and you enjoyed the first class, if you'll do a video testimonial for like a minute, I'll go ahead and do a consulting call with you because I think that's how valuable that could be. Kareem Mance, once upon a time, yes, but not at this current time, no. Tuesdays and Saturdays, yes. We try our hardest to work with business owners on their schedules. So something I think people have noticed is I'm in the process of buying not one, but 2 other businesses and keeping management in place and just adding people. This is like the process of my life, and it's exhausting. And so, being here on YouTube and trying to argue with people about how well things are going in this country and how well things are going for the group of people I'm with, it's frustrating, right? Because then you have these people who come out here and they're like, well, my blah 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 is this, or my blah blah blah. Listen, chill. The perspective you're giving does not negate my perspective, and it does not negate the numbers. Right now, if you go on small business administration numbers, I think 64% of all the people that are applying for small business loans the past 4 years have been immigrants. Okay. And I think out of that number, a high number were something second generation immigrants. So again, that's when I talk about basing my economy numbers on immigrant families. That's why I do it, because I just know it ain't us. It ain't regular Americans. It is not regular Americans looking for ways to create solutions. Even Vanna, the guy who created Vanna, is from Lebanon, or where is he from? Maybe double check myself. But part of someone, wanting to, let me see if I see it. I don't see it on here. But one of the most popular, I just am, it's sad because I see people who are, unfortunately, you ever heard the thing float downstream? Even a dead fish can float downstream, float downstream. And a lot of it is like people just letting it take them down. I don't got time for it. Everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. Oh yeah, I mean Sherlock Holmes. I already described it like 5 times, but I'll do it again. We're talking about credit, business credit. We're talking about masterminding in there. We're talking about social media marketing. We're talking about starting e-commerce businesses. We're talking about online businesses. We're talking a little bit about the trucks in there. We're talking about buying land. We're talking about buying businesses. We're bringing on a lot of people who are going to talk about diverse ways to invest. If you want a stock market class, go get Terry's class. There you go. And the people we bring in there, because here's the thing. I mean, there's stories I would love to share, but I'm going to share them in there. The people I know right now have bought multiple buildings, are buying buildings and buying trucks and buying stuff. And I'm sitting here like, whoa. And they don't even look into the banks. They're literally calling their circle of influence. They're calling what's in their proximity. So again, when recessions are just a transfer of wealth from people who are unorganized to people who will be organized. If you go listen to one of those interviews I was talking about a couple of videos ago, the guy said when his personal life was out of order, his business was out of order. When his personal life got in order, everything was in order. If you go read the book, Illusions of Entrepreneurship, majority of business owners are 44 to 48 years old. They're married and they have a wife who works. So all these like, I'm a 25-year-old running around the world. These are not as common as you believe. The number one businessman starter in America is 44 to 48 years old and married, and wife works. Commercial buildings or jobs? No, I'm buying actual businesses, like a whole freaking business, like from the bottom to the top, everybody in the building, all the staff, all the employees. Oh yeah, this is just the beginning. Like I was just telling my staff the other day how I've been on Facebook Marketplace every day for a solid hour at a time, literally just looking at what people are selling and then making a note and seeing if it will be up there next week. So again, Jay, if again, I'm gonna hide that because I don't have time for it. Take the conspiracy theories over to the loser channels. Oh, I'm not gonna do this because somebody might come get it from me. I might not listen. The truth of the matter is y'all have to get out of there. EJ Cole, the people in the class know what businesses I'm buying. Oh yeah, it's real lit. Because again, I've talked about this for years at this point, where I literally talk about it's good for somebody with little capital or a lot of capital. What I've talked about in here is what you're seeing is a generation of baby boomers who are tired. Their children don't want to inherit their businesses. They want to go do something else. And so that person is usually tired and ready to just sell. And this is actually water, sparkling water for those of you, because we've been talking about water. Wow, Sherlock Holmes, that's terrible. What's up, Andre Hatchett? The man behind the scenes, the myth, the legends. The Atlanta, listen. You in Atlanta and you don't know Dre, you probably should go get to know Dre. Okay, because I'm telling y'all. In Atlanta, they're gonna be dropping houses out for dollars. I mean, if you don't believe me, go look at the last recession. Go look up Paula Pant. Literally, like the word is saying it, Pants, Pants. She literally came to Atlanta, bought a house that was formerly brand newish, bought it for 20 grand. Literally, bought it for 20 grand. And had it turned around right now. And she ended up having a portfolio of 11 houses. And she moved to Atlanta with no money in her pocket. She had saved up all her money from her first job, traveled, and then came back to Atlanta and bought that bad boy up. She bought it up so much that she went to Las Vegas and lives off the rental income of the homes in Atlanta. Okay? Yeah, they really don't. I mean, and look, there's websites where people are doing it. There's people that are business brokers selling their land. I mean, when people sit here and act like, where, Erica? Where? All over the place. Water makes you feel good, taste good, look good. Listen, old things are becoming new. And I mean that in many ways. That's why I was like, that's why I made this title Yuppies and Gekkos, because I probably am considered a yuppie or a Henry or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, who you surround yourself with in proximity matters. And if people get on your team as you're going up, they better be smart, because then they can go up too. So, but it's no secret that, it's no secret that I'm buying businesses and I'm working with other people on projects. So anyway, I didn't want to take up too much of your time. It's been 42 minutes. I'm going to get on out of here. Unless you guys have any questions for today. The course, last day of the course being $150 of the day, closes out at 8 p.m. CST time, Central Standard Time. We're going to make it $2,000 after that, and the ads will be rolling out on Facebook, so you'll probably see some of them. Her name is Paula Pant. Yeah, go read her blog. Go read it. Listen, when I talk about people having brands and blogging, where people made fun of blogging, there's a lot of people right now making 10 to 20K a month from blogging and just letting that blog over the years pop up on stuff. I'm telling y'all, there are people right now who have businesses that are making 10K from a personal brand, and they're not even doing much. And it ain't been affected with the current things going on. Thank you, David Val. Thank you, Andre Hatchett. But yeah, I will be discussing that in class. There are several websites and locations I go and look for sales and deals. The current deal I'm working on, someone bought it to me. Again, how does that happen? When you become a thought leader, a person that helps people make a decision, people who have property or wealth or want to transfer it to somebody they consider trustworthy will come to you. This is one of these conversations. Again, take care of people and they'll take care of you. But yeah, if you're in the course, hop in it, enjoy it. 8 o'clock, it goes up to $2,000. Ads start running tonight. Gotta limit all the people that's in there. Gotta make it fun. So hopefully a lot of those people will show up to the boat party in August. Knock on wood, by then we're in safer waters per se. But thank you guys. Have a great Freedom Friday. Hope to see you all in class.